Well, hey guys, welcome back. This is Tony from Tony Talks Cards. And as always, we're talking about cards today, specifically baseball cards. But first off, I want to say a huge thank you. This video, and actually a brother-sister video to this coming out very soon, is really a thank you and a celebration that just a little bit ago I got to 150 subscribers. So thank you all for being one of those 150, and actually it's 151, I think, right now at the time of this video. But again, I started this channel 4 months ago, and yeah, I want to make friends. That's the big reason why I'm doing this, is to have an outlet to show off the cards I really like, some stories behind the cards, get them out of the binders for the first time in a long time, research the backs, the statistics, and meet other collectors who are like me, whether you're into football or baseball or hockey or non-sport. We all love collecting things, and cards is what brings, I think, this community together. So just want to do a quick little video, actually, two videos. This video is going to be a 150 subscriber thank you video focusing on baseball cards. I'll do a second 150 subscriber celebration video talking about football cards. So I thought about, hey, 150 is not like 1,000, it's not 500, it's not a big bunch of zeros number, but for me, a small channel, 150, what can I do to dig into the football cards and baseball cards deeper and maybe celebrate something and look up something new on a card I haven't thought of before? So had a few ideas. I was like, well, I could show 150 things, but that would take too long. Maybe talk about a card of a player who had 150 touchdowns or home runs or something, right? But that would take some time to research as well. So I thought, well, let's talk about cards that are numbered 150 in their respective sets. Bring out a couple of those, two baseball, I think two football I'll probably do. They're all number 150, right? From their respective tops or other baseball or football sets. Talk about the player, what makes them unique, some of the stats in the back of the card, and maybe highlight something I didn't know about the player by doing some extra research based on this video series. So if it works out well and we keep going to 200 subscribers and 250 and beyond, I'll pull out, cards numbered at 200, at 200 subscribers, and 250 at 250, and so on and so forth. So maybe we'll see where this goes, if it has a life of its own, or it sticks around. But for right now, this is the 150 subscriber thank you episode about baseball cards. I'll do that here coming up. I'll flip the camera around, show you the two Hall of Fame players I have that are numbered 150. There are many more, of course, but these are the two I have right now. We'll talk about them, their careers, and flip the camera around here, and I'll be back just in one quick second. Thanks, all. Hey everybody, I'm back, and we're going to show off a couple baseball cards. And like I said, this is a big celebration for me. It's a way to kind of mark 150 subscribers for my channel. And I thought, let's look at a couple cards I have that are numbered 150 in their respective tops baseball sets and show them off and dig into the stats a little bit more. I know some surface level things about them, but wanted to dive in and see what else I could find more that I maybe hadn't talked about already on the channel for one card specifically, but hadn't shown the other one yet. So I'm glad they are both 150. It'll be a good video, I think. So here we go. I do have some notes I took off screen, so I'm going to kind of look at those to make sure I get all the dates and stats right on these cards. So the first card I want to show off is one I have not shown off on the channel in the first 4 months yet, but picked this up probably 2 months ago off eBay. I think it was eBay. First one is card number 150 for the 1970 Topps baseball set, Harmon Killebrew. You can see it's in a PSA 5, a 9 level PSA cert, so pretty new. Nice corners, nice centering. The back is nice and clean. The yellow, the blue there, seeing all of his statistics there. You can see on the back, and I'll talk about this some more, AL Player of the Year and MVP in 1969. He continued his assault on all-time slugging marks by leading the majors in homers and RBI in 1969. That's why I got the card. So if you've seen my video before, my other show pickups, I'm looking at different Hall of Fame baseball players, and based on collecting the card that reflects the year they had, maybe some of their best statistical years. And so in this case, Harmon Killebrew's 1970 card, shows his 1969 statistics, plus many others, of course. But the last year on this is his 1969 year. And during that year, he was MVP, like we said, had 49 home runs and 140 RBI. I guess in addition to him receiving first place MVP votes, Frank Robinson and Boog Powell got the other sets of votes in 1969 for the AL. So there's his 1970 card with the Twins, and it's number 150. But while I do this, let me turn the light on real quick in the room I'm in. There we go. That's probably better. Sorry about that, guys, but you can still see the card here, I think, okay. But again, 1970, Topps baseball. Harmon Killebrew played from 1954 to 1975. He ended his career with 573 home runs and 1,584 RBI. He played with the Senators and then the Twins, of course, and finished up 1 year with his last year with Kansas City. Over those 22 years, he only had a little over 2,000 hits. And it seems like due to playing only about two-thirds of his years, he played, a lot of most of the games. You can see the first, 5 years here, he didn't play a lot of games, very few at bats. And throughout his career, he had some lower game played years as well. But again, managed to get over 2,000 hits during those 22 years. Like I said, he was AL MVP in 1969. So there's the first card, number to 150 in my collection to show off. I'll put that one over here on this side. You can see that. The next card I've showed on the channel already. It's probably been a couple months, but hey, why not show it again? I love the color. I love the brightness. And here we go. It's the 1975 Bob Gibson. This is his last Topps Playing Days card. You can see it's a PSA 4. Again, it's an 8, so a later PSA cert number. I love the colors. I love the red because again, the red kind of matches the red on his hat there, the Cardinals colors. The yellow, right, matches and ties to the yellow on the bat on the Cardinals uniform, and just the red and yellow really pop and make it go together with the Cardinals uniform that year. So I love that color combination. Again, one thing you notice, of course, on these cards is these sides, right? You can see the width of how wide these are. If it's off center, miscut, this one's not perfect, but it's okay for me. It looks good for me, and I really enjoy the decent centering on it. The corners are pretty nice, nothing too crazy. I didn't see any creases, wrinkles, or any other kind of damage to the card. So a solid 4. Again, I'm in that kind of 3 to 6 range in terms of vintage cards. I don't want to pay the 8, 9, 10 prices. So a PSA 4 for, again, this is Bob Gibson's last playing days card. So kind of cool to see that. And again, if you've watched the channel before, I like these cards, the last cards, because the last cards, I guess depending on the year, right, they will show all the stats. I know it's kind of dark to see these here. I apologize, but these last cards have all the stats. So again, it's a dark gray background. I know you can't see it that well on the camera, but again, love seeing all of his stats from 59 to 74. Again, we can see clearly the 1968 year where he had the 1.12 ERA, and even in 1969, the ERA was his second lowest ever at 2.18. That 1.12 ERA was, again, I'm not sure if that's the lowest or just at the time it was crazy to think about a 1 ERA. And in that year, he also had 22 wins, but over 34 games. So the little up here, you'll notice little comic / quiz. It says, who wrote Casey at Bat, the song Casey at Bat? And so the answer to that is Ernest L. Thayer. So you open a pack of Topps cards, get the bubble gum out, and you learn something new about baseball history. Plus, you get to see Bob Gibson. There you go with a PSA 4. So a few other interesting things about his career I didn't know about and aren't necessarily on the back of the card is that he actually was a decent hitter, like literally as a hitter, like in the NL. So he had 5 home runs in both 1965 and 1972. I did not know that. I mean, again, that's great power, I think, relative to a pitcher who was so dominant during his time as well. He won the 1968 and 1970 Cy Young Awards. And speaking of batting again, he was a 206 career batting average hitter. And it's funny to tie these two together. 1970, the year he won his second Cy Young Award, he hit 303. He hit 300 in 1970. And again, he had lesser at bats because he only played, right? A fourth of the games, give or take. But he hit 303 at the plate the same year he won his second Cy Young Award. So definitely kind of a cool stat there too. He also had 28 complete games in 1968 and 1979. So he's a guy. I'm not a Cardinals fan. I know a lot of you guys who may watch, and I've talked to, are Cardinals fans, and just love that power, that 1.12 ERA. And Bob also has a really cool 1971 Topps baseball card that it's kind of one of these like um, not close up, but see him on the mound about to pitch. Very artistic, and just the photo quality is really cool for me with that set for some of those cards. So looking to pick up a 1971 Gibson probably at some point because it would show his 1970 Cy Young Award year as well on the back. So those are my two card number 150s. I looked up through all the cards I own on the registry, and then also the loose, non-graded, and SGC cards I own. These are the two I have right now. I picked out. There may be one or two I missed. Hopefully not. But again, thank you for all you who have subscribed. I mean, 4 months, having 150 people who subscribe to my channel and look for, or at least have subscribed enough to know when I post videos is really cool. So thank you again. And if we get to 200, if we get to 250, 300, I'll pull out some cards numbered to 200 and 250 and 300 all the way up. We'll see how far we can go and pull out some cool Hall of Famers who had that number as well in various top sets. So again, thank you very much. Thanks for watching the video, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.